Hello folks, and welcome back again. Today I'm going to have a look at a bolt from a Enfield number 4 Mark 1. I've got a selection of bolts here that I had out for a previous video. So we're just going to grab one, we'll grab the middle one. It's a fairly simple arrangement, rather a clever arrangement actually too. The component parts, the bolt body, cocking piece, the bolt head, and inside, you can see it protruding, is the firing pin and a mainspring or firing pin spring in there. So let's see what we got. Let's strip her down. Taking the bolt head off is easy, you just turn it. I've seen these before in the previous video. This is a number 2. You can see the number 2 on there. It's number 2. Okay, so what happens next? Firing pin's in there solid. How do we get it out? Wait a minute. There's a screw on the end here. Let's take that out, see what happens. Very simple. Oh, still nothing happened. What's going on here? Oh, I guess we need a special tool to withdraw the firing pin. Oh boy, that's going to be a problem. What do I do now? What do I do now? Well, you've probably got the solution in your toolbox. You can buy a special tool for it, or you can make your own. Here we've got a 6mm long socket, and I've taken a grinder to the end and ground the end down so that I've just got 2 prongs there. So what happens now is push it in, engage the prongs on 2 recesses in a collar on the firing pin, and unscrew it. Very simple. Oops, there goes my cocking piece. I should have had hold of that. Rather silly. But anyway, there's the bare bolt body now. You can see the threads. Maybe you can see the threads inside, where the bolt head fits. Anyway, so here we've got the firing pin and the firing pin spring, or the mainspring, call it what you will. Again, relatively simple, very robust piece. It'll take any amount of dry firing. You will not hurt this. And this is our mainspring. Okay, this is a new one, this is an old one, slightly shorter. When I first pulled it out, it was even shorter because it was bound at one end, the coils were closer together. I've just pulled this apart, just a little, like that, just to make it look a little better. And I'm not going to use this, but this will be a spare in case I do need one. They don't break very often. I've never heard of one breaking, but they do compress over time, especially if you leave the gun cocked. Okay, so checking again, this is a new one, put the old one on one side. So let me grab my cocking piece. Okay, so we've got the cocking piece here. Very, very simple thing. Holds the firing pin in place and also provides a surface for the sear on this end here, and then your half cut recess there. Okay, things to consider. Well, when you've got this apart, now is a good time to polish the surface here. Polish it in this direction, don't polish it across. Polish it in the direction that the sear acts, and your reward will be a very nice, predictable trigger. Don't try to change the geometry of it. You can do that, you can file it at a more acute angle, but what will happen is your double action trigger will turn into a single action trigger. It will probably be gritty and it will be very unpredictable. So stick with the two-stage trigger, which is a very good trigger in standard form. It is excellent. A little bit of polishing helps. Don't go crazy. Okay. You'll notice on the end of the firing pin is a, let me see if I can, the end of the firing pin there's sort of a half moon cutout, and that's to stop the firing pin from rotating and undoing itself, and it's held in place with that little screw that I showed you. Okay, reassembly is the reverse. So let's try it. It's rather awkward here, but I'll put my hand through the tripod. We'll give it a go. Put the spring on. Oops, wrong one. Pay attention. Pop this in here. Hold her in. Excuse me, I'm trying to get around the camera tripod and it's rather annoying. But I think if we persevere, we will get her. Okay. Oh, doesn't want to engage. Let's give it some more. Okay, it's started now. You'll notice the end of the firing pin up here, you can see it. So what we got to do now is we take it all the way in and then we back it out a little so that it's flush. It's just a little proud. And excuse me, I can't see. I'm going to try it there. You can see the half moon. The half moon aligns with the hole. So where's our little screw? We'll pop our little screw back in. It's a retaining screw. Do that with this screwdriver. Fairly simple. Put our bolt head back on. And there you go, piece of cake. Things to check are bolt head over rotation. That's about as much as you want. You do not want the bolt head to go too far over. That way, when it's in battery, as it were, the force is being taken, the force of recoil is being taken on this mating surface, and not in such a situation as this where the force is taken on the screw threads, because they will get hammered back and you'll bugger up the threads, and that is not a good thing. Okay, so one thing we have to consider is firing pin protrusion. we need that firing pin to protrude when it strikes the primer between 40 to 50 thou. Let me grab my calipers, I've forgotten them. Okay, sorry about the delay. Here we go. So you would measure the protrusion by dropping your calipers down here and taking a reading. I'm not going to do it now. This one is actually 44, so it's bang on the money. If it drops below 40 thou, try it. See if it will hit the striker. It will hit the primer. And if the gun works, that's fine. If it doesn't, then you're going to need a new firing pin. Not a big deal. They're not very expensive. $20 should get you one. Another thing to consider is living in northern Canada. It gets cold in the winter, and if I want to use this rifle in winter, one thing I do is I run the firing pin dry. No lubrication at all in there. Everything bone dry. I swill it all out with brake cleaner or some sort of degreaser. Get all of that out. The only place I have any lubrication is a tiny bit of oil on the retaining screw, tiny bit of oil on the thread on the bolt head, and that's all. If you're going to be taking the gun in and out of the house, if you're going to be 1 minute cold, and by cold I mean minus 20, minus 30, and then warm inside the house, plus 20, plus 25, you may get condensation inside here. So if that's what's been happening, if you've been doing that, then take the bolt apart, make sure you're not getting a buildup of rust inside. Should work fine. Doesn't need a lot of doesn't need a lot of lubrication. The play in the bolt is sufficient. There's quite a bit of play there. It's not going to rust up in a hurry, so you can run it dry quite happily. So there we go. That is the Enfield number 4 Mark 1 bolt. How to strip it, how to check it, and I hope it works good for you. Obviously, number 1s are very, very similar. I haven't shown you that because the basic principles are just the same. The bolt head is a different style, and one or two other little things, but not enough to worry about right now. So there we go. That is the bolt of a number 4 Mark 1 rifle. Hope you found that useful. Have fun out there, enjoy your shooting. Take care of yourselves, look after one another. I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.